offense?
Defense.
What creates defense?
Offense.
No, the goal in the back of the net.
It's been a half decade of dominance in the conference from this golf team, Thomas. You have them in the C tier. What are we doing?
I'm
4 out of the last
expecting
5
a
years they've won the
championship.
championship.
Talk about the present stuff. And, well, actually, I'm going to talk about the past right now.
At least if you're going to pick a trap game, pick the right ones.
Little fast footwork. I know your feet don't move that fast, Beckett.
Pretty, that's all flash, no cash. She didn't net it in the back of the net. That's not even a
What are
goal.
you doing pulling out Ryan?
Pretty,
Are you ready for some debate? Because Bobcat Breakdown starts right now.
Welcome back to your normally scheduled program. Bobcat Breakdown is back on the best time of the week, Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. I'm your host, Nick Olsen. Joining alongside me are our analysts, Ehlers and Beckett Calkins. Are you guys excited to be back on Tuesdays?
Beckett, I'm so excited. What about you?
I'm pumped up. A little hoops talk. I know you got your hockey talk coming up, but let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the hockey. I'm going to put my best at basketball, but I'm excited for it.
All right, well, let's get right into it. The women's basketball team defeated the Fairfield Stags by a final score of 72-58. They have 7 games to go in the regular season. Do you think they have what it takes to stay perfect heading into MAC playoffs? Eli, you could start us off.
See, Beckett, I think this team has what it takes to go undefeated.
Yeah.
I think they would honestly benefit from not going undefeated.
Agreed.
You look at a team like Fairfield. Last season you saw Quinnipiac beat them in that final regular season game. They got to that MAC championship. They played arguably one of their worst games of the season. I think this team, as much as I think they potentially could, I don't think they will. I think it's gonna be a closer game against Fairfield coming up in 2 weeks. But I think this team will lose to Fairfield, and I honestly wouldn't be shocked if they lose one other. You look at their next 5 games ahead. They have that Buffalo road trip coming up. Yes, they're playing a Canisius team that's 1-11 and a Niagara team that's 0-12, but
They're terrible.
Terrible from the stats. However, that's a long bus trip. Those are always games that you look at Quinnipiac Athletics as a whole. Every team seems to have a struggle, and it's never a clear win. So I think that also could be a game where they might struggle.
See, I like a lot of what you said. I also think this is a team that could go undefeated in conference play. I don't think they will. 7 games left. You mentioned the favorable schedule. They're playing Canisius and Niagara not only in Buffalo, home and home. They still have them twice each. So that's 4 of their 7 remaining games that, in my opinion, I'm not scared of the road trip. I think they win all 4 of those games pretty easily. But the 3 games I circle, of course, the Fairfield game and then Siena and at Sacred Heart. So they beat Sacred Heart by 14 at home. Sacred Heart's a pretty good team, 3rd in the conference. Yeah. And then you got to go on the road, which is not a long road trip, but it's always different playing at a visiting gym. But that Fairfield game is obviously the one that everyone circles. And you mentioned how maybe they could benefit from not, winning out, not going undefeated in conference play. I think they could as well. If you lose that game to Fairfield, it's not the end of the world because, in my opinion, you're not beating Fairfield 3 straight times.
I agree.
And you're probably going to have to play them in March in Atlantic City. So think about, you've got them in March. You already beat them. You win now. If you win now, I don't think you're winning in March.
Exactly, and I agree. I think the biggest thing is they won that game last year at home, and it was the last game of the season. They had that 2 seed locked up. That win didn't really do anything for them. And you look at what happened in Atlantic City, it was brutal.
And the last time that these 2 teams played, I mean, Quinnipiac won by 14 at Fairfield's home site. But that final score was a little skewed. It was closer than that final. That final score was the largest lead Quinnipiac had. And they held Megan Anderson, a Player of the Year candidate, to 3 for 13 shooting. She had 4 turnovers, just 8 points. Katie Lamoureux, 4 for 12, 0 for 4 from 3. I mean, the Bobcats, I don't think they're doing that again. I think they'll lose.
Well, that was some riveting debate. Moving on. The men's basketball team currently sits at 5th place in the MAC with an 8-5 record. Looking down the stretch, what other team is their biggest obstacle at success? Beckett, you're a men's basketball beat reporter. You start us off.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid the question while also answering the question. I think they are their own biggest obstacle, and I'll use the most recent Fairfield game as an example. The Bobcats played terrible in the first half. They were only down by 8 points. Fairfield's a middle-of-the-pack MAC team, but it's a rivalry game. You'd figure it'd be close. But Quinnipiac did not come to play, and yet they won that game in the second half. They hung around the first half solely reliant on their talent. This is a team that, in my mind, is a top 2 roster in the MAC. Talent-wise, easily. You could argue they're a top roster. But they get in their own way. They get in their own heads. Tom Pecora keeps saying they need to grow up quickly, and they haven't really been able to do that so far this year. But if they can do that, I really don't think anyone can get in their way. Now I'll answer the actual question with what teams could get in their way. I think Merrimack, matchup-wise, is a really tough roster. They've got a couple really good scoring guards. And that defense that Merrimack plays, they play a matchup 2-3 zone. Joe Gallo, they're a phenomenally coached team. And they're a matchup nightmare for Quinnipiac, but they're not as talented as Quinnipiac. You know who is as talented as Quinnipiac? That's the Siena Saints. Yep. And Siena's really good. They've won their last 5 games. They were picked, maybe not to win the league, but they're right behind Quinnipiac in a huge turnaround of the program the last couple of years under Coach McNamara. I think Merrimack and Siena are the 2 teams to look out for, but Quinnipiac can beat anyone in this league.
I agree with you. I think this Bobcats team is super strong. I think there was a lot of hype going into this season, and I don't know if they're necessarily handling it well. And you talked about it a couple games ago, how their leadership is not leading right now. They're there, but they're not really leading. I agree with you. I said this Siena game, and I think that Merrimack game as well will be incredibly tough. However, I think it'll help Quinnipiac knowing that they've already played Merrimack. Yep. They got rolled by Merrimack in Merrimack.
Which they lost there last year, too.
Exactly.
So they're used to this. Yeah.
And I think the bigger thing is that Siena game, that's their only game against Siena. So huge. That is going to be huge for the conference standings. And another thing to look at is, I wouldn't say Quinnipiac is out from the 1 seed right now, but it seems less likely where Siena is right behind them. Yeah. So that tiebreaker is going to be huge. Yeah. I think that obstacle for Quinnipiac, that's going to be a big one to get over, especially knowing that, as you mentioned, Siena's on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, and 3 conference losses versus 5. That's a huge differential. I think I read something today. The Bobcats, percentage-wise, have a 1.8% chance, according to analytics, to get the 1 seed. So realistically, is that out of the question? Probably, but top 2 is not necessarily out of the question, and that's huge because then you get a favorable matchup in Atlantic City.
Exactly. I think that's going to be huge for them, especially if they can lock up that 2 seed.
Well, that was some fantastic debate, guys. Now we have to head to our first commercial break. But when we return, Eli and Beckett will be trying to guess where some former Quinnipiac winter athletes are today. Bobcat Breakdown, we'll be right back.
Reporting from the Grove for Q30 News.
Reporting from the Miller Library for Q30 News.
Reporting from the Mount Carmel campus for Q30 News.
Reporting on Whitney Ave for Q30 News.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. Our analysts will be playing a game of Where Are They Now with former and or graduating Quinnipiac winter athletes. I will show you guys a player that used to play for one of the Quinnipiac teams. You guys will write down where you think they are now. Are you ready?
Yeah, Beckett, I'm looking forward to this. What about you?
I'm nervous I have to put my handwriting skills to the
test.
All
right, Beckett. Hey, real quick, since you're the basketball guy, I know a little bit more about hockey. I'll reveal my basketball answers first. You reveal your hockey answers first.
Deal. Might be ugly.
Okay. Well, let's get into it.
All right. Our first athlete, Devon Tays, played with Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team from 2013 to 2016. He was drafted by the New York Islanders in 2014. But where is he now? All right, you guys can flip your whiteboards whenever you're ready with the answers.
I got to go first, right?
Yeah.
He's in Colorado, right, with the Avalanche? Okay. Is that correct?
He is with the Avalanche. And Beckett, where is he soon to be with?
Canada for the Olympics.
Yeah, you guys are both correct. Devon Tays is currently playing for the Colorado Avalanche, the same team you won the Stanley Cup with in 2022.
That's the
you guys will both get a point on that one. Our next athlete, Kelly Babstock. She holds 16 Quinnipiac women's ice hockey records. But where is she now? Eli, you'll flip again whenever you're ready.
Are we good, Eli?
Oh, I don't know if I'm spelling this word right. I'm ready.
Flip them over.
I mean, I would hope you know how to spell Canada. I have no idea what the answer is.
I said a
Canada.
pro league in Sweden. I apologize if I spelled Sweden wrong.
All right, well, Kelly Babstock is with the Färjestad BK in the SDHL. So Sweden, that was correct.
Okay.
So Eli will get another point on that one. Moving on to our next athlete, former Quinnipiac men's ice hockey goalie of the year, Yaniv Peretz. Where is he today?
Beckett, I did a little research. This one I prepped out for because Yaniv is a fantastic goalie, but he's been all around, so I have this one written down. And I actually have a question for you once we answer it.
So you could flip the boards again whenever you're ready.
I don't know. Wasn't he like the AHL with the Hurricanes or something?
Good guess. He is with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in
What is
the
that?
AHL. It's an AHL team.
All right, I'll take the league.
Yeah, there you
I'll
go.
take the league.
But he actually just got called up from the ECHL. Hasn't played a game with them, though.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was correct. Yaniv Peretz currently plays in the AHL with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, the Philadelphia Flyers AHL team. We're going to move on. We're staying on the ice now with our next athlete, former women's ice hockey goalie, Corinne Schroeder. She was the 2022 NCAA Women's Ice Hockey Goalie of the Year. But where do you guys think she is today?
I'm going purely off of the blur on the graphic. I'm being completely honest. Yeah, Beckett, I see you squinting over there to look at that.
I mean, I don't even know the logo, so it's not really going to help me out much.
Beckett, you ready?
Yeah.
You guys can flip them?
Yeah, Boston, question mark?
Seattle?
So, Eli, that is actually correct.
Oh,
Corinne
come
Schroeder
on.
is currently
You
with
did
the
not know
Seattle
that.
Torrent in the PWHL.
You didn't see the S there, Beckett?
I don't even know what
She
that
has
logo
a 281 goals against average with Torrents. Pretty solid, I would say. So, Eli, you can grab another point on that one. You're currently up 4-1 over Beckett.
Beckett, how do you feel?
Honestly, I'll take one for hockey. Honestly, I'm fine with that.
I'd even consider giving you half a point for guessing the right league for Yaniv Peretz.
Give me 1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
All right.
Write it down.
We'll give him
Write it down.
half a point there. All right, well, we're going to your strong suit now. We're going to switch to the other side of the bank. Where do you guys think former women's basketball player Corinda Perea is today? Beckett, you'll flip your whiteboard first.
I have an answer that we're going to need to go to the board of directors to see if I get half a point.
Okay.
You ready for this,
You can
Beckett?
flip them over now.
Yep.
My answer is she is not playing in America.
That's correct, I think. I'm pretty sure she's playing pro in Germany.
Yeah, so Corinda Perea is currently hooping overseas in Germany with the Diligent Diamonds. So, Beckett, you'll get a point on that one. Bring your total to 2.5.
The half point could be a factor.
We're going to stay on the hard
could
word.
be.
We'll stay on the hard word. Our next athlete is former men's basketball forward Kevin Marfo. Where do you guys think he is today?
Did he transfer back to Texas A&M? The guy loves going back and forth. Quinnipiac to A&M, back to Quinnipiac. He's due for another
answer here.
We'll go with, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, just because this country came into my mind.
Okay, Beckett?
Ready, Beckett?
Yeah, I'll go with
flip them over.
Spain.
So
That's
I
probably
said
not
Portugal.
right.
Unfortunately, they are both correct. Kevin Marfo is currently with the Fortitudo Agrigento in an Italian basketball league, Serie A2. All right, next up.
Beckett, I totally forgot about that team. I definitely saw them on my Instagram feed the other day.
Yeah. Next up, Curtiera Haywood, former women's basketball forward, but where is she now?
Beckett.
I think you guys should
I'm
both get this
pretty confident
one.
on this one.
Assistant coach.
So you guys can
I
flip
said
over.
a Quinnipiac coach.
You guys are
Assistant,
both
yes.
correct on that one. She is an assistant coach with the women's basketball team alongside Trisha Fabry. So you
Let's
guys
go,
will
Beckett.
both get a point on that one. Eli, your total now is at 5. Beckett, 3.5. So this game, unfortunately, is out of reach. It looks like Eli will win this one. But our next athlete, this one might be tough, former men's basketball player Quinn Guth, who played in 9 games and made 1 start last season. Where do we think he is now?
Come on, Eli.
Beckett,
Come on.
I have a guess here. I remember listening to a podcast or something that he was on, and he was a big business guy. He was like in some like business club.
Yeah.
So I have no idea where, but I said somewhere in the stock industry.
Yeah, he's a finance bro in New York City.
Wow, I'm really surprised you guys were even close on that one. Quinn Guth is currently a sales and trading analyst with KeyBank Capital Markets.
Out of the New York City office?
I'm not sure on that one, but great job. Well, anyway, the Super Bowl is this weekend, so I'm in my football mood. We had to head to a halftime, but make sure to stay with us, as when we come back, we will be talking about the young star on the men's ice hockey team, Ethan Wyttenbach, and his campaign to the Hobie Baker Award. And if women's ice hockey still has a chance at a first-round bye in the ECAC playoffs. Make sure to stay tuned as we get prepared for the halftime performance.
I'm not gambling.
Live from the Piazza, it's Quinnipiac tonight!
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Here at Sports Pause, we like to have balance between having fun and working hard. Sometimes that competition we cover gets into our producing.
Tune in every Monday night at 9:30 at q30tv.com/watch for all the news, highlights, and more. This is Sports Pause.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. If you are just joining us, I'm Nick Olsen, and joined alongside me are Eli Ehlers and Beckett Calkins. Before we get back into the debate, QBSN is here to recap the last time the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team faced off against Yale ahead of their heated rematch this Saturday.
Previously in the Battle of Whitney Avenue.
Bobcats 2-on-1 if they hurry. Pass in front, shot, and a goal! It's the 23 of Anton Vero striking first. Bobcats up in a hurry. Schwartz stops, moves, goal! Bobcats score off a point shot from the New Jersey Devil prospect, Charlie Letty. Shannon moves into the offensive zone, shot, and a goal from the Yale Bulldogs. It's 2-1. Shannon with it, shot, and a goal! James Shannon, oh my! And on Bone picks up for the Bobcats, but loses it. Yale on the attack! David Chen goes to the backhand, lifts it over Silverstein. Again, that's been the theme all day for the Bobcats. First to it is Yale. Shot in the back of the net! David Chen!
So what can the Bobcats do differently to get the win over Yale? Well, after going up 2-0 with 13 shots in the first period alone, the Bobcats mustered just 14 the rest of the game. One of the keys to the success for Quinnipiac during its recent stretch has been constant pressure for 60 minutes, and Yale is 1-9 when its opponents have 32 or more shots on goal this season. Get pucks to the net, and the Bobcats laid a foundation to start a new winning streak against the Bulldogs. Make sure to tune in Saturday at 7 p.m. at theqbsn.com/listen.
Ethan Wyttenbach, the nation's point leader with 41 points in 28 games, was named as the men's ice hockey team's nominee for the Hobie Baker Award. Do you guys think he could be the first Bobcat to ever win this prestigious annual honor? Eli, you could start us off.
Look, do I think he deserves it, Beckett? 1,000%. Do I think he's going to win it? No. And I think when you look back at it, you have to look at the history of it. He is a phenomenal player. I fully believe he should be the Tim Taylor National Rookie of the Year. He has been lights out for the Bobcats. He's probably one of the reasons.
If he's your Rookie of the Year, who's your Hobie Baker?
My Hobie Baker right now?
Yeah.
It's Max Plant.
Okay.
From Minnesota Duluth.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is when you look at the history of it, just for numbers wise, let's take 2023. Adam Fantilli won. Quinnipiac won the national championship that year. The other two Hobie hat-trick finalists were Logan Cooley and Matthew Nyes. Nyes had 57 points heading into the Frozen Four. Nyes had 41. Do you know how many Colin Graff had?
No idea.
56. So you have a guy with 56 points versus a guy with 41. He doesn't even get named as a finalist. And the reason why that is, you have two guys from Minnesota and a guy from Michigan. Yep. They want a big name school to win because that is going to bring them the more publicity to it.
But that's also, those teams play better competition, right? So these like Gavin McKenna, Porter Marchand, these are guys that are playing against better competition than a guy like Ethan Wyttenbach. Wyttenbach, against top 25 teams right now, has had less production than two guys that I think have a chance. Not only are they his same year, but I think have a better chance to win the Hobie Baker than him. McKenna has 10 points in 8 games against top 25 teams. Wyttenbach, 9 points in 8 games. Martone, 17 points in 12 games against top 25 competition. I think he's the guy that I have circled right now. I do think it's a little too early to tell, but I think this could be a year. Only one freshman has ever won the award, or the last one to win it was Celebrini. But I think there's a chance that happens this year.
So Beckett, let me ask you this. Yeah. If Quinnipiac plays more ranked opponents this year, how many points do you think Ethan Wyttenbach puts up? Let me ask you this. Do you think at least he has a better chance to win the award?
I think he has a better chance to win the award if he's putting up the same numbers against higher quality opponents.
And he has done that against the ranked opponents this year. You look at that main game, he stood out. Amazing shootout move too, by the way. Doesn't count for his points, but still.
1.125 points per game against ranked opponents for Wyttenbach. 1.25 for McKenna against ranked opponents. 1.42 points per game for Martone against ranked opponents.
Yes, but that's also a smaller scale for Wyttenbach.
Wyttenbach, 8 games against ranked opponents, 1.25 points per game. McKenna, 8 games against ranked opponents, 1.25 points per game. Sorry, Wyttenbach was 1.12. McKenna slightly ahead. So same sample size, slightly ahead. Yeah, Martone has 25% bigger sample size, but he also has a much better points per game and total points in those matchups.
So let me ask you this: who's your Hobie Baker winner?
My Hobie Baker right now would be Porter Martone.
Interesting. All right.
I'm going with the first year.
Okay.
You guys both made some great points, and I agree, it's going to be tough for him to win it. But we'll stay on the ice. The women's ice hockey team was swept in their latest weekend series. They now sit 4th place in the ECAC hockey standings. Do you guys still think they have a chance at a first-round bye in the ECAC playoffs? Beckett, you could start us off this time.
I think they absolutely have a chance. I don't know if they'll get it, but if the way this question is worded, a chance, absolutely. They have a chance. They, in my opinion, need to win both games this weekend against Harvard and Dartmouth and really just win 3 of the next 4 games in regulation, and then they'll have a bye. If they don't do that, then they're going to need Brown to lose at least once, and then you play the scenario game. But this is a team that I think if they can be more disciplined, stop taking stupid penalties, play their brand of hockey, then yeah, they can get a first. You look right now, top 4 get a bye. They're in 4th, ahead of Brown. If you can win this weekend, sweep this weekend in regulation against Harvard and Dartmouth, you're in a great spot heading into senior weekend.
I absolutely agree with you. I think that it is going to be, they absolutely have a chance. I think that they will get it. And the reason why I say that is right now, Brown is 3.5 points behind Quinnipiac.
Yep.
Quinnipiac has to play Brown. Even if Quinnipiac loses that and they still go 3-1, granted they do have to play Yale, who's a top 10 team in the country.
And has been playing much better recently.
They have been playing much better recently, for sure. I think that Quinnipiac has a great chance to get it. The one thing I will say, they have a chance, absolutely. I think it would actually hurt this team, knowing that they've been such an up and down team. I think if they have that bye, that just hurts them because then they have 2 weeks without playing hockey versus you play, okay, they're the 5 seed, that means they're playing the last place team in the ECAC in the first round. All you're doing with that is, okay, you have one more game, yes, a little bit more banged up.
Could set in,
the fatigue aspect of one game, but you also, your schedule stays normal. You don't have a week where you don't have a game going into it. So these players are very regimented. This might actually be something where, they might benefit from not getting the first round bye.
That I disagree with. I think you want to get the first round bye, and I think it all starts with Harvard. I think they'll beat Dartmouth. I think Harvard is a team that's good enough to beat Quinnipiac, especially coming off that Beanpot win. That's a game that I circle as kind of a must-win for this Quinnipiac.
Absolutely, and that Beanpot win for them was a huge win, and their goalie was lights out. But honestly, at the end of the day, I think Quinnipiac definitely has a good chance, but I think that they might benefit without it.
If we're talking about lights out goalies too, Quinnipiac has to take the pressure off of Felicia Frank.
Absolutely.
Can't do everything.
No, 1,000%.
Well, unfortunately, the debate between these two fine gentlemen have come to an end. But make sure to stay with us. When we come back, we'll be giving our final roars.
power to celebrate when you're happy and laugh it off. Love your mind.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and mental health.
Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority.
Love your mind.
Welcome back to Bobcat Breakdown. It's time for our final roars. I'll start us off. Let's set the date. It's June 27, 2025. I just graduated from West Islip High School, and I was having serious doubts about my major in sports communications. A new major. What does my future look like? And doubts on how I'd perform within the major. But when I got to Quinnipiac in September, I told myself I'd give it a try. Working in sports is my lifelong dream. So why should I have doubts? Just because a few friends said I would make no money and have no future career doesn't mean I can't believe, so I gave it a try. As soon as I got started, I didn't know the extent that student media offers at Quinnipiac. Just 2 weeks in, I was on the field beat reporting the men's soccer team. Did I have any idea what I was doing? No. But I was excited to be there and work in this field, for sure. And little did I know what I would be able to do. If you told me on that same day, June 27th, that I would travel to Boston College to cover the Quinnipiac men's ice hockey team, I would not have believed you, but I did. And I just want to thank these two guys next to me and everyone else for helping me out and giving me the opportunities I have today. And I want everyone to remember at home to trust your gut. Follow your dreams because good things happen.
Imagine leaving your current job for a new job before your contract or obligations are up. Then, realizing that you had more opportunity in that previous job, so you begged them to take you back. This is essentially what has been happening in college basketball recently, but it's even crazier than I made it seem. Imagine being a student athlete and declaring to leave early for the NBA draft, then deciding to try and go back and play in college because you realized that there was more opportunity for you there. That's what former UCLA Bruin Amari Bailey is trying to do, and he didn't just declare for the NBA draft. He was drafted, signed to a two-way contract, and played 10 games for the NBA's Charlotte Hornets. And I don't mean to pick on Bailey because he isn't the only one. Baylor's James Nagy was a 2023 NBA draft pick, and although he never played in an NBA game, he did play professionally in Europe. And then, of course, there's Alabama's Charles Bediako. Bediako played 2 years with Alabama before deciding to go pro in 2023 and playing in the NBA G League. Now, 3 years later, he has returned to college, and despite the NCAA ruling him ineligible. How? Because Alabama took it to court, and the judge, who was an Alabama donor and has since recused himself from the case, gave him a temporary restraining order against the NCAA to allow him to play until the permanent hearing was set. Now, Bailey and Bediako aren't the only players trying to do this, and this isn't anything against them specifically. There is so much opportunity now for young athletes to make money in college through NIL. But at some point, the NCAA and potentially even Congress needs to put a stop to professional players in college sports.
What exactly is a reporter? It's a question I ask myself often as a first year trying to find my way into media. My first semester here, I thought it seemed so cool to get to attend the games and make stories. What an amazing opportunity. Now, I still have that dream to get to report on a team professionally, but I've learned there's so much more to it. The reporters that have the most attention and respect across the sports media world are the ones that you as a fan rely on for an inside source, the breaking news, and the stories people want to hear. I've learned that a recap is needed to inform, and that will always be the case. But what people are looking for is getting to know the athletes who put blood, sweat, and tears into their sport as humans. They want to know what they do outside of the game because those are the stories that show the human behind the player on the court, ice, or field. It starts with gaining personal relationships with the athletes. Don't look at them as some glamorous player. Look at them as humans that you report on. Build up your connections. You never know who will be someone who's willing to help you out when you need it the most. At the end of the day, beat reporting is a job that is 24/7. There will always be news or a story to pursue. Be the reporter who goes and finds the news and stories. Don't let them come to you.
Well, that's all the time we have here tonight for Bobcat Breakdown. Thank you for tuning in and spending your evening with us. We'll be back next week for another episode. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and X at Q30 Sports and check out our website at q30tv.com. Thank you to the producers and everyone working hard behind the scenes. For Eli Ehlers and Beckett Calkins, I'm Nick Olsen. Have a great rest of your week, Bobcats.